Greetings, viewers. Welcome to another time-lapse process video by yours truly, Aziz Draws. So, for the third week of March, I decided, as I continue my childhood cartoon adventure, that I draw another show that I'm a huge fan of, codename Kids Next Door. You might have noticed that the past 3 weeks of March have just been Cartoon Network shows, and that goes to show you which one that I preferred going to as a kid between Disney Channel, Nick, and Cartoon Network. But fear not, as I will be drawing stuff from the other channels this month before it's over. But back to Codename Kids Next Door. This show is really cool to me, bro. Like, it was just, seeing kids do crazy, dangerous missions and being creative, developing their own weapons, having their own headquarters, moon bases. It was just wild. It was just this high concept of, kids doing crazy things against adult tyranny. And as a kid, that's heat, bro. Like that's what you're thinking of as a child. It's like, bro, what's with these adults, man? They're so boring, or they always telling us what to do. And Kids Next Door had this nice rebellious feel to it without going too crazy with it. But it was definitely a fun show to watch, and just to it felt like it was just for you. Like that show was just for you as a kid. And I appreciated that. But yeah, here we have number 5. Honestly, one of the cooler characters in Sector V. This isn't the first time I've drawn her. I drew her back in 2020 for Black History Month, but this is the first time I've drawn her along with her friends, with her group. And it's also a full-fledged drawing as opposed to just like a 1-hour sketch. But I wanted to make sure that with this illustration that, I did her justice. I got her in this cool pose, got the 5 behind her, she just, and look at her drip, you know what I'm saying? So it's just making sure that number 5 looked cool in her composition. Number 4, he's also pretty cool. He's not the smartest one, and he's not the tallest crayon of the bunch, but he's cool. Number 4, you got the small Australian kid. he's funny. He's funny at times. But he's a cool character in the sense that, he's willing to just scrap. And characters like that, they're cool to me. And characters like that tend to lend themselves to situations where they have to fight. One time there was an episode where he mixed the whole rogues gallery, all the adult villains. He just pulled up to one of their meetings and just started mixing them, bro. It was wild. There's also that really cool parody episode where the KND all had their own kind of parody of a show. And those of you who watch KND definitely remember when number 4 was a Super Saiyan. That was one of the most iconic scenes in cartoon history, if you ask me. But yeah, that's just how cool number 4 is. He's a Saiyan. But I mean, look at him. Look at his drip. That's Goku. He's got the orange hoodie with the blue jeans and the gold hair. It's all connected. Speaking of Japanese cartoons, we have Cookie Sanban, which I think is really funny because this was when I realized all of their names has something to do with the number that they are assigned. I didn't realize this when I was a kid. The only person I thought whose name belonged to their number was number 1, because his last name is Uno, which is Spanish for 1. So I was like, okay, Nigel Uno, okay, hey, he's number 1. But I didn't realize what the meanings of the other names were. I just thought they were names when I was a kid. It wasn't until I was drawing number 3 and I looked up her name, because I was looking at reference photos to make sure that my character design for number 3 matched up close to the one it was in the show. I found out her name was Cookie Sanban. And I've been on Duolingo a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my Japanese game up just a smidge. I'm not a weeb. Stop making fun of me. But I was like, all right, wait a minute. Sanban? San is 3 in Japanese. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, number 1 has a pun in his name for the number 1. Number 3 has a pun in her name for 3. What are the other ones? And that was when I realized that they all had a pun in their names. So I'll probably go down that list of the names after I finish this drawing right here. And there. So let me talk to you real quick. Wallaby Beetles. The Beatles have 4 members. Hoagie P. Gilligan Jr. He's the second person named that. And then number 5 is Abigail Lincoln, named after Abraham Lincoln, $5 president. Ain't that junk crazy? That junk's crazy. But anyway, on to the next drawing. Here we have Hoagie P. Gilligan Jr., aka number 2, the 2x4 technology specialist of Sector V. This one was a cool drawing because there was more details for this character design. He has the aviator hat. Even the weapon he's using has more detail on it. I think what I drew was a flashlight, what was it? It was a magnifying glass. There was a plug outlet. That's why there's a wire. There's some wood. There's some tape. There's an empty can that has been, that has doubled as a, what is that, a sight? It's just a bunch of crazy stuff that's going on with that weapon, and that's why I drew it. I thought it was cool. That's one thing I liked about KND as a show, was that there was such a charm to it. It was so many features of the show that showed you, hey, by the way, these are in fact kids, because they had these moon bases, bro. They had moon bases, but like it's made of wood and tape and glue, like things that realistically would never work. But because these are kids, they don't know any better, so they're just, making with what they know and what they got. But it just looked so cool. Like that's why I like that show. It's just, like I said before, it spoke to me as a kid. It's like, hey, you're a kid, they're a kid, everyone's a kid. We're all kids. And I'm like, yeah. I can't say that no more though. I'm 23, so just not really a kid. Kid at heart. Let's say that. Kid at heart. There we go. Hoagie P. Gilligan Jr. has been complete. That means we have 5, number 4, number 3, and now number 2 completed in this process, which leaves us with, last but not least, Nigel Uno, captain of Sector V, number 1. All right, so I'm gonna address this right now. I need y'all to stop. I need y'all to stop roasting number 1's head, bro. Come on, bro. We got 30K likes on that drawing on Twitter, and y'all roasting him, bro. Come on, bro. You know that's not his fault. Y'all seen the episode. Y'all know what happened to him. Come on now. You think he wanted this? You think we wanted this? Anyway, yes, number 1, of course, was the last character drawn. We made sure, say we, like I'm more than one person, but making sure that the character design still matches up with the one in the show. So it's really funny seeing like a long sleeve sweater with shorts and Tim's and some shades and a bald head kid. I get it, but come on now, start roasting your boy. That's mans. That's dog. That's Nigel Uno. But yeah, we have all the kids drawn now, right? That means we're done, right? That means it's over, right? We got everybody from Sector V completed for this week, right? No. This was the plan the whole time. I remember there was a comment on my Instagram. Somebody said, why are all the kids facing away? I didn't respond because I felt that there was only one way I was going to answer that question. And that was showing them what this entire picture was going to be. So you can see right there what just happened was I sketched all the locations of the kids and what poses they were going to be in before I did the illustration. And time skip, if you were to plop the beginning of this video right there, that's what really happened. I did all the sketches first, then did them individually, then plopped them back into this composition. And then, of course, after that, I added some more shading to make sure that the characters lined up with the light source of the full composition. And that's why you see me adding an extra layer of this very warm, very flame-like lighting because, well, the light source of this composition is Father himself. So I wanted to make sure these characters were being lit appropriately. And I also did some more shading to make sure there's some, ambient occlusion going on, more depth, and more values being pushed in, so that way you can really distinguish the shapes of these characters in this composition. And now you see me getting ready to render Father with all the flames and glory, and his smoke pipe. Yeah, I don't know what it is, bro. I mean, this dude's character design is heat, pun intended, because you have this simple yet effective design of a silhouette. The character design is just a silhouette of a man with a 1940s haircut and a smoke pipe, and that's it. That's it, right? And then some glowing eyes, but you know me, I'm not gonna draw those. And then when he goes on fire, it's like, oh my goodness, like this dude is a problem. Like you felt Father's energy when you were watching that show. You knew he was a problem. He didn't just say anything. You're just looking at it and you're like, oh, whoa, 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 what is that? Who's that? So when I was drawing this semi-realistic rendition of KND, I wanted to make sure that that same energy gets applied. And I was like, all right, when I'm drawing Father, I need this to like look like what I imagine Father in my head. Like if Father was like real, or if Father was like, something that was taken into a live action adaptation, what do you look like? He'd probably look something like this, maybe. I don't know. You know how it is. Hollywood be changing stuff up, but I feel like this is close to what it would be, right? So we have we just have this. What did the people look like? This pyro man. We got this man who can manipulate fire going up against children at the ages between 8 and like 12. And it's just they scrapping. It's like that's the ridiculousness of KND is why I love KND. It's so cool. Like the things just that happen in that show just doesn't make sense, and that's perfect. That's exactly where it needs to be. But that is it for this illustration. This is the culmination of a week's worth of effort. Thank you all for watching, and be on the lookout for more shows. And get this Father wallpaper on Patreon while you at it, because there's going to be more childhood memories.
Greetings, humans. On behalf of Aziz Draws, I, Model A2Z, would like to thank you for watching this video. If you want to continue supporting Aziz Draws, be sure to follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.tv, where he will be drawing live on Mondays and Wednesdays. If you want to continue supporting Aziz Draws even further, be sure to go to his Patreon, where you will have access to watermark-free drawings, and potentially even Clip Studio paint files to have access to the process and layers of each drawing. Until next time, humans, farewell.